The Chicago Bears are back after their bye week with a date against the Commanders at 3:25 p.m. Central in America's Game of the Week. Can the Bears pull out yet another win? Watch this video to hear my thoughts. What's going on, guys? I'm back with another Chicago Bears pregame prediction video, which I'll be doing before every single Bears game this year. And the bye week is over. The Bears are back in action, and we have a tough game against the Washington Commanders, who are 5-2 right now, number 1 in their division and one of the best in all of football so far. But there is a strong chance that Jayden Daniels is not going to be playing in this game. I'm recording this video on Wednesday, and so far Jayden Daniels has not practiced this week. He suffered a rib injury in the last matchup, which took him out for most of the last game. And it seems like as of this point in time, he will not be playing in the upcoming game, which really sucks as a Bears fan because I was looking forward to this matchup for so long. Okay, for the last couple weeks, I was thinking, damn, this is going to be such a fun matchup to watch, to cover, you know, number 1 pick versus number 2 pick. Jayden Daniels playing such good football. Caleb Williams also playing such good football right now. It would have been such a fun matchup, and I really hope that can still happen, you know, if Jayden Daniels does practice the next 2 days. But as of right now, guys, I'm thinking he's probably not going to play, which again does ruin the appeal of this matchup. It was flexed to 3:25 p.m. Central because of the quarterback matchup and how good both teams are playing. So it sucks we likely are not going to get that. But as a Bears fan, all I care about is the win, okay? I've seen some Bears fans out there say that they're not going to treat this win as a good win. They're going to say it's an asterisk win if the Bears win this game. Guys, shut the hell up, okay? A win is a damn win. Obviously, it would have been much more exciting if it was against Jayden Daniels, but I think the Bears could have beat both quarterbacks with how good the Bears defense is playing at this current point in time. So, again, it sucks that Jayden is likely not going to be in there. Maybe he still could be, but the Bears have to move on and still prepare for this game very hard because the Commanders are a pretty solid football team. The Bears, after the bye week, have been pretty good under Matt Eberflus. In 2022, we almost beat the Eagles. We only lost by 1 possession, and the Eagles went on to play in the Super Bowl. And last year against the Lions, we dominated them after the bye at home. So Eberflus does get his guys ready to play after the bye historically. So hopefully he can do that in this game. And he's going to have to, because the Bears have to keep stacking wins in these next couple of games with how brutal our ending stretch of games is the rest of the season. We have games against playoff teams basically every single week down the stretch, so we have to get to, you know, 6-3, 7-2, in my opinion, to have a chance to really, you know, make noise and make a run at the playoffs with how tough our schedule is down the stretch of this season. But let me talk about the Commanders, guys, break down both sides of the ball for them. And talking about the offense, first of all, they rank number 1 in points scored per game, number 4 in yards gained per game, number 13 passing attack, and number 3 run game. And Cliff Kingsbury's done a phenomenal job with this Commanders offense with both quarterbacks. Okay, Jayden Daniels has looked really good the entire year. Even Marcus Mariota looked pretty good in the last game, although it was against a terrible Panthers defense. And that's going to be the main storyline of this game, guys. Like, which quarterback is going to play? As of right now, I'm thinking it's definitely going to be Marcus Mariota, because I don't think the Commanders are going to want to risk anything with so much season still left, and with how good of a record they have. They don't want Jayden Daniels to get more hurt, but you know, obviously Jayden Daniels is the better quarterback and will give the Commanders for sure a better chance to win this game. He's completing 75% of his passes, has 1,410 passing yards, 6 passing touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. He's been very accurate going down the field, making good decisions for the most part, running pretty well too. Okay, he's a dual threat quarterback. He has 372 yards on the season, averaging 5.6 yards per attempt. And that's going to be one area that's going to be much different on this Commanders offense if he does not play, because even though Marcus Mariota is fairly mobile, okay, Mariota can run as well. He can't run the same way that Jayden Daniels can. Okay, Jayden Daniels is like the Lamar Jackson, Justin Fields, like that tier of a rushing threat, when Mariota definitely is not. So that's going to change this Commanders offense and make their run game a lot less dynamic, because the ability to run as a quarterback, as us Bears fans know, can change in offense and make it much more dynamic. So we'll see which quarterback plays. Mariota did look pretty good in the last matchup. He had 2 touchdowns, 205 passing yards, 0 interceptions, completion percentage of 78.3 against the Panthers in the last game, which really goes to show you how good the system is that Cliff Kingsbury has brought to the Commanders offense, which is more of like a first read open type of system. I mean, the first read has been pretty open throughout the entire season for the Commanders offense because of the great scheming that Cliff Kingsbury has done, okay, so far. So, you know, I think Marcus Mariota could still present a challenge to the Bears defense just because of how good this, you know, Commander system has been, how good the play calling has been, but we'll see. Okay, obviously the Panthers defense is not nearly as good as the Bears defense is going to be. Now, talking about the number one biggest threat on this offense and the passing attack, it is definitely Terry McLaurin. Okay, Terry McLaurin has the biggest target share on this offense by far up to this point. He has 49 targets, 454 receiving yards, and 4 receiving touchdowns. And he is such a nifty route runner, has great ball tracking ability, great ball skills. You know, the ability to separate is very, very good for him. And Cliff Kingsbury's been getting him in space, so he has the ability to create a little bit after the catch too. So he's going to be one guy the Bears definitely have to game plan for because he has been the majority of the Commanders' passing attack so far. But they've also had Zach Ertz make kind of a career resurgence. He's 34 years old, so definitely getting up there in age and definitely not the same athlete he used to be. But he's been the second leading receiver on this team. He has 268 receiving yards, 1 receiving touchdown, 25 catches. So especially for younger quarterbacks, that middle of the field tight end can be very beneficial. And even for Marcus Mariota, like he probably is going to be attacking Zach Ertz a fair amount in this game. And we can't let him get in those seams and get the 10, 15-yard gains, which he's been getting so far on this Commanders offense. And talking about their run game, guys, the run game also has been very fantastic so far. Obviously, with Jaden Daniels, it was better because he was a big rushing threat. So without him, it's going to change it a little bit, but Brian Robinson Jr. has been very good up to this point. Okay, he has 396 rushing yards, 6 rushing touchdowns, averaging 4.7 yards per carry. You know, pretty elusive option. And Austin Eckler has been pretty good too. Okay, Austin Eckler, especially as a receiving threat, has been dynamic for this team. He has 201 receiving yards. On the ground, he has 188 rushing yards and 5.9 yards per carry. So very strong efficiency from Austin Eckler, very good running ability from Brian Robinson Jr. And again, I'm still wondering how the loss of Jaden Daniels is going to change things, but so far it has been a pretty potent Commanders offense in general. Talking about the Commanders defense, definitely not as effective there. They rank number 15 in points allowed per game, number 16 in yards allowed per game, number 12 pass defense, number 18 run defense, and they have been better as of late. Dan Quinn is starting to figure things out on this defense, and he's a strong defensive mind, so you can't really take this defense lightly, even if the stats are not that great, because they do have pretty strong defensive coach behind it. But they rank bottom half in EPA per play allowed against the pass. So in terms of the secondary, like they've allowed a good amount of big explosive plays down the field. They have youth in the secondary. They have Mike Sanders still starting from Michigan, and he's, you know, pretty scrappy guy, pretty hard-nosed type of guy that has made a few big plays for this team, but he doesn't have a whole lot of experience, and experience matters a lot, especially at cornerback in the NFL, especially going up against the fantastic receivers he's going to be going up against in this matchup against the Chicago Bears. Benjamin St-Juste on the other side has been pretty bad so far. He ranks number 88 out of 105 eligible cornerbacks in the league in coverage grade according to PFF, and he's been allowing a lot of big explosive plays too. So like the cornerbacks on this team have not been the best, I would say. Emmanuel Forbes basically got benched. He was the guy that got destroyed against DJ Moore last year, so he's probably not going to be playing. But there are definitely big question marks in the secondary, especially at cornerback. At safety, though, they are a bit better. Jeremy Chin has been a pretty good acquisition for them, making big time plays in coverage, being a good tackler as well for the most part. So Jeremy Chin is the guy I would watch out for back there in the secondary at safety. But aside from that, like there are ways to attack this defense going down the field. Another thing about this defense, they don't generate that many turnovers. They only have 3 interceptions on the entire year, which is one of the worst rankings in all of football. So I hope I don't jinx things and Caleb goes out there and throws 3 picks in this game because I said this, because I brought this up, but they have not been in the best places to make plays on the football. They don't really have a nose for the football yet. So, you know, that really hurts their defense, not being able to generate those takeaways and, you know, kind of flip the field. So far, it has not mattered because the Commanders' offense has been so damn solid, keeping the defense off the field. But I really wonder how things are going to be different if the Commanders' offense is not as potent as it has been so far this year especially with the backup quarterback. Is that going to make the defense crumble? Potentially. We'll have to wait and see. One place where the Commanders defense does have some talent, though, is on the front seven. They have Frankie Louvu and Dante Fowler as their lead sack producers. Fowler has 4.5 sacks, Louvu has 4 sacks, and they also got Jonathan Allen on this team, Darren Payne as well. They traded away Montez Sweat to us last year, which thank you, Commanders. He's been so good for us. So, you know, that's one guy that they're missing, obviously, but like their pass rush has been generating pressure at points this season. It's not been the most consistent thing in the world. It's in no ways like a top 10, top 15 pass rush, I'd say, yet, but they do have the pieces to generate pressure at the right times if, you know, Dan Quinn can call the blitzes at the proper times against this Bears offense. Now, guys, if you want to place wagers on NFL action this season, maybe on the Chicago Bears winning a game, maybe on Caleb Williams, you know, winning Rookie of the Year or whatever, MyBookie is the best place to place those wagers. They are the sponsor of today's video, and if you guys want to sign up, I have a promo code. It's DaWindyCity. There's a link down below to sign up and get started, but it actually doubles your first deposit up to $1,000. So pretty cool promotion to take advantage of if you're new to betting or if you're new to MyBookie, okay, to get a good start to your bankroll. And they have a bunch of different betting options, money line, you know, straight bets, parlays, you know, whatever you can think of, they probably have on their website. They also have a loyalty program, which is pretty cool. It's called MyBookie Plus, where the more you play, the more rewards you earn. So they take care of you if you do bet with them, you know, pretty frequently. And they also have something called risk-free boosts on Thursdays, where you can bet without a sweat. If your bet hits, you win some money. If it doesn't hit, you get your wager refunded. So, you know, pretty cool promotions they have on their website. Bet on anything, anytime, anywhere using MyBookie, the sportsbook that gives you control and rewards every time you play. Talking about the Bears offense, they rank number 12 in points scored per game, number 24 in yards gained per game, number 20 passing attack, and number 24 run game. And the biggest storyline on this offense right now is if Caleb Williams is going to keep on getting better every single week, because so far in his young NFL career, he has gotten dramatically better every single week. In the last 3 games, Caleb Williams has 687 passing yards, 7 passing touchdowns, only 1 interception. And yes, I know it's been against some pretty bad teams, so I'm going to take that into account, but Caleb overall has been making such better decisions. He's seeing the field a lot better. He's getting rid of the ball super quick. He's attacking the middle of the field so effectively. He's not taking that many sacks. He's making adjustments at the line of scrimmage. Right now, Caleb Williams looks like one of the better quarterbacks in football, and he's not even near as good as he's going to be in the future. So, you know, I want to see if Caleb can keep that going in his hometown of Washington, D.C. He's from the D.C. area, so that's a pretty cool storyline where Caleb's, you know, friends and family, I'm sure a lot of them are going to be in attendance for this game. So hopefully that motivates Caleb to perform even better. This is another passing defense that is not the best. Okay, they're bottom half of the league in EPA per passing play allowed. So it's another defense that I hope Caleb can attack, and hopefully the down the field connections start coming as well, because that has been the only complaint I've had about Caleb Williams so far this year, is that the deep ball has been very inaccurate. So hopefully he can get that going in this game. I do want to talk about Rome Odunze a little bit, the guy on my shirt right here, because I feel like he's going to start getting much more involved in this offense pretty soon. It's going to happen very fast because Rome has been a pretty good route runner so far. Like, he's been getting open a lot the last couple weeks. Caleb has just been attacking other guys for the most part, like DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Cole Kmet, because we have so many weapons on this team. But especially if Caleb can get the deep accuracy to start hitting, Rome is going to have a lot of 100+ yard games coming up pretty soon. Okay, I think he's that good. He has that level of potential, and so far, like what we've seen out of him in the regular season, in the limited snaps he's gotten, have been really good. Okay, I think he's going to be one of the best players in the NFL pretty soon. Maybe not this year, but like I think it's going to start to show a lot more flashes coming up soon, and that connection between Caleb and Rome Odunze is really going to start to flourish in the next couple weeks, and hopefully, you know, in this game. And sticking with the talk about the weapons, I do want to talk about Cole Kmet as well, give him a shout out in this video, because Cole Kmet has been a very good tight end for the Chicago Bears this season. He has 289 receiving yards, 3 receiving touchdowns. He had 2 in the last game. He played long snapper for us 2 in the last game. I mean, there's so much to like about Cole Kmet and his connection that's been growing with Caleb Williams. Like, I think Caleb really trusts him now in the middle of that field to make plays for him, to make that contested catch, to get yards after the catch, which Cole Kmet is always such a hard guy to bring down in the open field because of how physical he is. Like, I'm really happy that Kmet has gotten this involved in this offense, and he's showing again to be one of the better tight ends in all of football. Talking about the Bears defense now, they have truly been dominant. They rank number 4 in yards allowed per game, number 5 in points allowed per game, number 7 passing defense, number 11 run defense. You guys can see the run defense numbers have improved over the past couple of games. They've been doing a better job against the run as of late. And the one thing that sucks is that Jaquan Brisker and Kyler Gordon are still not practicing, so I'm thinking they probably are not going to be playing in this game, which would suck to lose your starting safety and your starting cornerback, nickel cornerback. But Tyreek Stevenson and Terrell Smith have came back to practice, so at least those two guys should be returning and, playing in this game. So if Kyler is out, we have another cornerback available, and Tyreek, he's always a good guy to have back in the secondary with all the big plays that he makes on this defense. But this passing defense still is super good. Okay, even without them, they were really good in the last game against the Jaguars. They have the number 1 EPA per passing play allowed as a defense, negative 0.23. So on average, passing against this defense is going to net you negative points with how good they have been in forcing turnovers, with making big time plays on the ball, locking up in coverage. We have so many just talented ball hawking players in this secondary. Jalen Johnson's been very, very good. I made a tweet about him a couple days ago where, I still feel like he's not getting the respect that he deserves being an elite cornerback in this league. You got Kevin Byard being a top 5 safety in all of football. What a home run signing by Ryan Poles. I mean, the secondary is so damn solid, and the Commanders have not faced a secondary like this the entire season. If you look at their opponents so far this year, all of them have had bottom of the half passing defenses for the most part. So the Bears will be the best passing defense they will be facing the entire year so far, which is why I really wish Jaden Daniels would play to really test our defense against a quarterback that good. But, even with Marcus Mariota, hopefully our defense can do a pretty good job against him. And I do want to talk about the middle of this defense too a little bit. TJ Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds, just give them a little bit of a shout out because they have been so damn solid for the Bears. Honestly, the last 2 years, but especially as of late, I mean, they're racking up so many tackles in the middle of the field, playing so well, disciplined in coverage. TJ Edwards has 47 tackles, 1 turnover forced. Tremaine Edmonds has 34 tackles, 2 turnovers forced. They're always pouncing at the ball, always trying to punch the ball out. So these guys have really revived the monsters of the midway, especially in the middle. We're always used to having fantastic linebackers on the inside, and Edmonds and Edwards have proven to be that so far for the Chicago Bears. Let me get to my 3 keys to Bears victory now. How can the Chicago Bears win this game on the road? And key number 1 is going to be disciplined against the run. Okay, the Commanders, if they get this ground game going, it's going to be pretty hard to stop them with how good their passing attack has been. And the Bears defense, their number 1 weakness, their only weakness so far this year has been the run defense at times being disciplined, being gap disciplined, making those tackles in the middle of the field, not allowing guys to go past the secondary. Against the run, sometimes we have struggled a bit there, but against this team, you have to be sure to lock in and play sound against the run. Otherwise, they're going to be on the field the entire game. Our defense is going to get tired, and the offense, the Bears offense, is not going to get a chance to really score points in this game. Key number 2 then is going to be to take away Terry McLaurin in this game. As I mentioned earlier, he is by far the number 1 target on this Commanders passing attack. He seems to always be open, so the Bears have to devise a game plan to make sure he's locked up for most of the game. Obviously, that's easier said than done with how good of a talent he is, how good of a receiver he is. I'm not going to expect us to completely shut him down, but as much as you can, try to take him out of this game plan and force Marcus Mariota, Jaden Daniels to go to the number 2, number 3 option, because so far this year, they've mostly only gone to the number 1 option, and that has been Terry McLaurin. And then finally, key number 3 is going to be to have long sustained drives on offense if you are Caleb Williams. This Commanders offense is so good. Like, they've been very good with both quarterbacks, so we want to try to keep them off the field as much as possible and keep this defense, Commanders defense, on their toes and get them tired, so eventually we can kind of wear them out. And that starts by having a bunch of long sustained drives in this game, which Caleb has proven the ability to do that. In the last couple of games, he's had drives of 10 plus plays, chewing up 10 plus minutes of the clock and getting those 4 or 5 yard completions in the middle of the field. Caleb has been pretty good at doing that, so I want him to continue doing that, attacking the middle of the field, being super accurate, making quick decisions, and just being smart with the football. And finally, it's time for my score prediction. Who do I have win this matchup? And guys, I have the Chicago Bears going on the road beating the Commanders by a score of 26-17. Now, if Jaden Daniels does play in this game, that changes my prediction a little bit. I think it's going to be a little bit closer. I would predict Bears win 26-23, but I still do think the Bears are going to win this game no matter which quarterback plays, because the Commanders offense has not played a defense as good as the Chicago Bears defense. So far, the Commanders have scored the most points in all of football, but again, they have not played a defense like the Bears defense. I think that Matt Eberflus against these young quarterbacks, and especially against backup quarterbacks like Marcus Mariota, he devises really good game plans against these types of quarterbacks, gets them to throw a lot of picks usually. So whoever the quarterback is, I think is going to struggle to some extent to move the ball down the field against this really good Bears defense. And talking about the Bears offense going up against I would say average Commanders defense. They've been pretty bad against the pass, but a little bit better as of late. I think against that defense, they can still get things going and stay in the groove they've been on offense. I see no reason why they can't with all the weapons we have on the football field, with our offensive line playing a lot better football, with the running game getting going too. Hopefully the run game gets going in this one, and DeAndre Swift, continues the success he's had as of late. But I truly do feel like, man, with how the Bears have been clicking as of late, the Bears are going to win this game in DC. My offense MVP of this game is actually going to be Rome Odunze. I think that Rome Odunze has 105 receiving yards and 1 receiving touchdown this game. For whatever reason, I think this is going to be, the Rome Odunze game. He already had a good one earlier too, but I think in this game, man, he's going to get in a groove with Caleb Williams, make a couple plays down the field, get some yards after the catch, and really make life tough on the Commanders defense. As for my defense MVP, I'm going to be going with Tremaine Edmunds. I think that Tremaine Edmunds gets a pick in the middle of the field with how good he has been in coverage so far for the Chicago Bears. Let me know your predictions down below. What do you guys think is going to happen in this game? Again, I really hope that Jaden Daniels does play in this game, because I so badly want to prove to the rest of the NFL world that this Bears defense is actually that damn good, and that the Bears can beat a good team. So far, the Bears have not beat a good team, and if we beat this team without Jaden Daniels, obviously people are going to complain about that, but I would not care, okay? A win is a damn win. I just want the Bears to get a win any way they possibly can, and hopefully we can do that. Leave your comments down below. As always, bear down.